Hi, Brian.
Hello.
Hey, we're back with another one of these. We decided, well, we wanted to do Nine Inch Nails, but I want to get a friend in on that one, a third party, and she is not available yet. So we now do another one we planned, which we were going to have another person join, but now they're unable to because they're on a date. So that's a good reason.
I'm losers.
Instead of kids. I'm just kidding. Well.
Who chooses love over an album ranking video? Honestly,
on YouTube of all places, we have Enter Shikari. This is a band that I feel like I don't have nearly as deep of a history with as I did with Linkin Park, but I still like a lot. I don't want to say liked yet.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, they're still putting out music that I think is pretty okay, at the very least. Like. We'll get into it. You see, before you, their 7 albums, a couple EPs we threw on there as well. Their EPs are a little weird because they typically just have a bunch of remixes or live versions and then like 2 or 3 new songs.
Yeah, they have a habit too of releasing like absolute bangers in between albums, as we'll get into. Like just one song in between an album that's like amazing. So yeah. Yep.
My favorite Enter Shikari song is on one of those EPs, so
yeah, I think we'll get into it. But Rat Race, I love every song on that.
I love that song. That's not the one I'm thinking, but
yeah, that's a good one too. Enter Shikari, interesting band because they're like very popular in Europe, like playing to arenas and stuff. But for whatever reason, they never really caught on in America. I guess that's to my benefit because it's awesome to see such a good high quality band in like a little bar to go see them live. Yeah, so that's really cool. I've got to meet them several times just because they're so small here. So they're very accessible and they were always very down to earth, cool guys. So yeah, I'm curious. They're just as good as any other like great band that you see. Very confused why they never caught on in America. I don't know if it's because their lyrics are like slightly, I don't want to use the word political, but definitely like social commentary. I don't
know. Maybe a bit too abstract for an American audience for One thing I've noticed recently, and this is coming off watching the Devil May Cry anime of all things. I feel like subtlety is kind of dead, and it's been dead for a while, I think. And just hitting you over the head sometimes is all a lot of let's be real. I'm never going to watch Severance. I'm sorry. I'm just not. But I feel like Severance kind of beats you over the head with the metaphor pretty quickly.
Of like corporate life and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I gather that much from just seeing what little I have seen of that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's... I don't know. I don't want to get too political, but it's like, is the country so dumbed down that like it needs to be that? Otherwise, people are like, "This is stupid. It sucks. I don't get it."
Maybe, but I don't know.
I was wondering if maybe with Enter Shikari, it's because they have such a strong like electronic side, and to be honest, like electronic music isn't really as popular here as it is in Europe. But I don't know. There's other bands like Nine Inch Nails that are crazy popular here, so who knows?
Yeah, neither is rock anymore, and I don't know this.
Yeah.
They're more punk-ish, and I feel like that sound is just not as prevalent in the mainstream.
Yeah, in the mainstream.
And if it is, it's a band that already has their foot in the door, like a Blink-182 or whatever.
I don't think even you and I had kind of the normal experience with Enter Shikari either, because we both didn't really discover them until A Flash Flood of Color came out. Mm-hmm. I remember I was on the iTunes store, which is hilarious looking back. And I was probably on even after everyone else had already abandoned it. But I saw this red triangle they got, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. I'm going to check this out. And I'm like, holy shit, who is this band? This is amazing. But by like 2012, I think Take to the Skies came out in 2007. So they had already been around for 5 years. And now that I've met some people that are a lot more into the punk scene than they were really into Take to the Skies, was like a really, crucial, pivotal album at the time that... Yeah. We just straight up missed. But I remember being like, this album's awesome, so I showed them all to you guys, and then you and Steve and a few other people caught on and enjoyed it too.
Yep. I remember really, really listening the hell out of Common Dread after we kind of did our initial dip with Flash Flood of Color, and I think Common Dread was the one that stood out for me the most early on, although Flash Flood of Color is more like a more polished experience, I feel. But
Yeah, we'll get into that. That few run of albums I think is absolutely amazing.
yes.
But there's definitely, you can see an increase in like the quality of production as you go on with their albums, and just
Yeah.
kind of talent with the band, I feel like. And I also want to mention amazing live band. Like they're
Oh, yeah.
always so fucking good live.
Mhm.
So if anyone if anyone watches this and then gets into them, definitely see them in concert when they come to America. Tickets are usually like $25-$30 because they're at like a small venue.
In a bar, like a
yeah.
little dive place. That's what I feel like we've seen them 4 times in that one bar in Chicago. I don't remember the name of.
I think it
The
was
Bottom Lounge? Bottom Lounge.
Yep.
And it's cool as hell.
Yeah.
They did a mosh pit right in front of me with Rory like next to me. Like he put his arm on the guy next to him on the right. He could have easily just done that with me because I was like, I'm gonna sit back. I don't know if I want to get in the mosh today. And then he ended up just coming out there with his guitar and singing shit. I'm like, fuck, dude, this is crazy.
The crowd, they have really cool fans too. Like the other fans and crowds are always cool for their shows and stuff. It was funny too because I think I saw him after the Spark, and that was the only time I think I saw him. Or maybe 1 or 2 times that you didn't go, and they finally played Zonked. I was like,
God.
oh no, Joe missed it.
God damn it.
But yeah, but it was funny because at that show they were finally in a theater. I can't remember which one. So I'm like, oh, maybe they're finally catching on. But then I went for the next round and they were back at the bottom line. So I was like, oh, guess
Sure.
not. I'm like,
I mean, whatever.
Yeah. But no, great band, great live band. I'm excited to talk about their stuff. And as always, I think we should, start this with a little message that ranking art is inherently kind of stupid because it's art and it's for the observer. But this is more just talking about things we love and dissecting it, and just to talk about the joy that it brings us. I think there's that lyric that they have that to dissect is to broaden the adventure and enrich one's tenure. So that's what this is all about.
You?
Yeah.
Did you have that written on a note?
Sure did.
Yeah, cool.
Well, because I was thinking about it, I'm like, that's literally what we're doing. We're just like picking it apart for, just for enjoyment to talk about this stuff. And of course, we're humans with opinions, so we'll not like some things, but that doesn't mean other people don't like it and get enjoyment from it. And who the fuck are we to say,
This ranking things is more just fun, and I think the discussion that it brings around is a lot of fun to do. And ultimately, you like what you like. Like what you like. Always like what you like. Don't listen to anybody.
Exactly.
Unless you're into some like weird shit.
Then cut it out.
And then knock that shit off. Maybe you get some help. Here we go. We got it. Take to the Skies. Is their first release. They put out some singles before this, but it all led to Take to the Skies.
Yeah. So this one, interesting enough, Sorry, I think we can't talk about this album without talking about Sorry You're Not a Winner. I checked on Spotify. It's still their most popular song to this day.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't it surprising? Because, all right, that opening riff with the clapping, I don't know if you want to play that part real quick, but absolutely iconic. You could go to, it seems like, especially in the punk crowd, like if you just go to a punk concert and someone covers this song or they play this song over the PA or whatever, people like instantly know it. With that being said, oh yeah, here, let's
It's a good lead in. Yeah. The growl too is this is the album for that type of thing. Like there's a lot of like wretched punk screams in this, and it feels good, honestly. Going back to this album for this ranking really gave me another a new appreciation for this album, because I feel like I've listened to it on and off, and it was a lot of like Sorry You're Not a Winner when we went to go see them and whatnot, and then Mothership. I also really like their first track on the album is fucking great, Enter Shikari. What a way to start an album with just shit.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, this album is like, especially for a first album, there's not very many like low points for me. Like I really genuinely like most of the songs, and like I don't really find myself skipping any songs. I was gonna say about Sorry You're Not a Winner, So it's their most popular song, you know, probably their most classic song, but it's probably my fourth favorite song on the album, and it's not like one of my favorite Enter Shikari songs. So I mean, I like it
Yeah.
obviously. So I'm wondering if it, you know, just like the such a great riff and kind of the punk. It seemed like for especially for like punk fans that it like came out at the right time and just like really struck a nerve. Me being more of like an industrial head, I like Mothership is one of my all-time favorite Enter Shikari songs. I think it's so good live. People should check out. I think it's live at Hammersmith. They do like a little dubsteppy kind of intro to it, and it just the guitars sound like more full than on the album version. So I tend to listen to that version more than the album version. But I fucking love that song. I love Okay Time for Plan B.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Adieu might be my favorite like slower song they've ever done.
Adieu.
Adieu.
Johnny Sniper's cool. I
was going to ask you about that one because I was thinking as I was listening to it, so I was like, there's not really a song that I don't like. I kind of think the album could do without the two reprises. They're not that they ruin it in any way or anything, but it's kind of just a little interlude noise thing that doesn't have to be there really. I guess, but I was like, if you held a gun to my head, I guess Johnny Sniper is my least favorite song. Not that
I always appreciate, and they do this on I think when they stopped doing this type of thing, I really fell off. I love when they do like little almost like dramatizations.
Like little joke dramatization songs.
Like The Jester does it too, like at the beginning, and that's on the next album. But like, just he has a certain voice that he does with it. It's like,
I do really like that.
I think it's fun. I think it's good, and I think it adds some weird levity to an album that's pretty. I don't want to say dark, but like a lot of like, I guess levity is a weird word because I feel like this band for a while really had like a fun aspect to them. They were always kind of, you could tell they were really enjoying their craft. And I think when they started to lose that, I think that's when I started to fall off a little bit. And I think that's around the Mindsweep and the Spark. Although the Mindsweep, the best song in the Mindsweep is a song that's not even on the album for me.
You love Slipshot, huh? I do love that. It's such a great song.
That's one of these too. That's one of those like kind of silly little like, I don't want that to be the entire album. I just like the little break, and I think Johnny Sniper does that for me here.
Okay, yeah, I could totally see that. I was listening to somebody else. It was like a little Reddit debate about this album, and there were, I don't know, it seems like there's two camps with the Johnny Snipers, where some people really like it. I'm kind of falling the side. Some people were talking about how it's not a bad song, but it doesn't really fit the album, and that's kind of how I feel. It kind of, I don't know, but I get what you're saying about songs like that, and I do like those songs on the other album, so I don't know, that's the weird thing about like art and why do you like some things and some not, because I agree with you, I love Slipshot and I love The Jester and stuff. For this one, Giant Sniper doesn't really, but again,
Gandhi kind of has it a little bit. You know?
Exactly, and I don't know, for me, like, I get that was just me trying to pick apart something with this, you know, trying to find, because really, like, the low points aren't that low, I think. Like, especially for a first album, great, you know, synths and guitar riffs and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, they make their presence known pretty quickly of what type of album this is going to be with Enter Shikari. I'm just going to play that first little... Forgot how long this goes. Yeah. But like it's, oh yeah, I don't know.
I love it though. Great intro.
Yeah.
By the time this album came out, they already had a good understanding of like how to build tension.
Yep. Like, and this easily could have just been like that 1 minute intro track. Let me just get up a little further. Yeah.
It's great how this like synth line kicks in right then too.
It's good stuff.
How do you feel about the name Enter Shikari?
I don't know.
Yeah. That's why I brought it up, because I saw an interview with them and the drummer was like, I really didn't like it at the time. I don't know if I really like it. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah. I could go either way. it's always a. It's funny. You'll be like, "You ever hear Anna Shikari?" It's like Shakira? No.
Yeah, yeah. I do. I guess I like it in that it's one of those names where, like, if I hear that, I associate it with this band. There's nothing else that it could like possibly be. You know? Yeah. So
I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
It's a better name than Linkin Park.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But even though both of those, I guess both of them I like when I hear, there's like a Linkin Park in every city, but when I hear Linkin Park, I think of the band more than like the park in Chicago.
Or the zoo.
Yeah, or the zoo. How do you feel about the album art for this one?
I like it. I don't know how I feel, and maybe I'm being a little too, maybe I'm reading a little too much into it. I don't know how I feel about the caricature of indigenous folk.
Yeah.
Anymore. Obviously, this was 2007,
like
but
still so like cartoonish, not like
it's not like in an offensive way, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what the point they're trying to make with that is. Besides, maybe is that like an alien on the other side?
See, I thought it was a ghost on the other side. That's what I was thinking too. I like the like earth, the like frowny, sad skull kind of looking earth in the middle. I
like the colors.
And I like the colors. I agree with you though. I interpret it as like it's like a Native American person and then like a ghost, but I don't know. And there's a tree. I don't know if like they're trying to like that's like, you know, like losing the knowledge of like trying to protect nature.
Maybe.
And now they're just like a ghost. That's what the best I could come up with. But if anyone knows, if anyone's a bigger Shikari fan than us and knows, I'd like to be interested, to know what the kind of the meaning is behind the album cover.
I'm like one step away from loving this album art. But I just it's abstract enough where I'm like, okay, it's probably there's probably something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I just like to bring up some cool lyrics. I love in Ado, home can be anywhere when I'm holding you. Such a good love song. Yeah, I know. It's so good. Such a could be a wedding vow, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you had more.
Nope, that was it.
Cool. Where do we rank this one, Brian?
Well, we normally start by putting it up.
That's a joke.
Okay.
Just number one.
Right now, you want me to do the whole thing right now? Yeah.
It's one of one. Yeah, try to predict where it's going to end up, actually.
Yeah. Ooh. How many we got? We're working with the EP. I can't do it with all those EPs.
Yeah, the EPs are going to be kind of the wild cards here, except for one of them. Next up, Common Dreads, I believe, is the next one. Or no, sorry.
We're doing EPs. It's The Zone.
The Zone. Yeah.
All right. Is this? I was curious. Is this album even on like Spotify, or is this like an unreleased?
It is on the Apple Music Store, and it has one song that I really, really like on it. So
it The Feast?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, The Feast is amazing.
Yeah,
I fucking love that song.
How does that start again?
Yeah. Such a good live song too.
I like a good chorus, or I like a good like multiple people shouting, and they do that a lot on these early albums.
Yeah. Also, like, this is kind of another one of those songs where it's like, you know, it has like its levity moments, as you would say.
Yep.
No, yeah, great song. I really like the remix of Ado on here. I like Keep It on Ice, Acid Nation. Like, it's a pretty strong, weird collection of songs, because it's like some demos, some original, some remixes, some, like, I think Labyrinth is on there, and it's just on the other album too. So it's kind of
yeah.
I think I like this album cover a little bit better than
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got those creepy, I don't even know what they are, like foxes or something on there.
They're like, I don't know. They're cool though.
Yeah.
And it's in like a big like hallway, and there's more dudes peeking around the corner, being like, "Oh, who's coming in into the zone?" Like I like this album. I like this EP actually quite a bit, but mostly because I think The Feast is just such a fucking banger.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about it. If there was ever an Enter Shikari song that would be in a beer commercial,
Be the beast.
probably. Because I think there's a. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Let's crash the party, guys. Let's get a Coors Light. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is a weird one. It feels like an album they put together to sell at shows.
Yeah, or maybe like a sampler of like different things that they can do, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say
Very enjoyable, though, for an EP.
Yeah. I don't really have too much else to say about it. I think it's just a good, solid EP to go along. It's like a nice companion to Take to the Skies.
Yeah, and especially if you like that earlier, more punk sound of theirs. I think they were like a little more straightforward punk with just like since early on. So if that's your favorite like sound of theirs, then yeah, you would definitely have to check that out.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead. I think personally, The Zone belongs at number 2. Do you agree?
Yeah,
Okay.
There's just not enough there
Yeah.
to put it above Take to the Skies for sure. Yeah.
So I think actually I got the. Okay, no. Common Dread. I think this album fucking whips, dude.
Dude, absolute bangers, front to back. So for me, the next 3 albums, this is like my core, like golden era of Enter Shikari. They could do no wrong. Minus one song, really. I think just like every song on this album is amazing.
Which
I
one?
love Fanfare for the Conscious
It's
Man.
it's kind of a wet fart of an ending.
Yeah, we'll get into, minus a notable exemption, the last song on the album tends to be my least favorite song on the album for them for some reason. Don't know what that's about.
They don't know how to finish an album, and that's okay. That happens.
But it happens to lots of guys.
It's totally normal.
Not that it's not like so bad where I like pretend that it's not there and I don't listen to it to finish off the album, but every other song, like I really struggle to even find a complaint with this album. Just like everything is perfect to me. When people bring up like what's an album with no bad songs, I think of this album.
Common Dread, yeah. Is this this is more a question off the cuff. Is there an easily attainable vinyl of this, or is this really fucking hard to find? Because I think it's really fucking hard to find.
Yeah, it's not. I still don't. So I have all of their albums on vinyl except for The Spark and Take to the Skies. Take to the Skies, I'm hoping they do. 20th anniversary is coming up in like 2 or 3 years, so I'm hoping they'll do a re-release.
Yeah.
But I do remember, I think Common Dreads, I had to go like deep into Discord to find a vinyl of it.
Discogs?
Discogs, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I did a quick search and I found that they did a repress of this, an eco vinyl of like 300 total copies in 2023. And I was like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? 300?
Yeah. I mean, that's the downside, I guess, of them not being as popular as some of the other bands we like.
Yeah. I only have one vinyl by Enter Shikari. It's actually one of the first vinyls I ever got, which was Flash Flood of Color.
Oh, okay, cool. The one with the blue triangle on the cover?
Yeah, really
nice.
Cool. I would love this one, though.
Yeah, for this album, I think they made... So, again, the punk crowd, the OG Enter Shikari fans probably aren't going to like this, but I think there's several upgrades on this album, in my opinion, from Take to the Skies. One, I don't know if he was just practicing or what, but I think Rao's voice, the singer, like greatly improved from this point on. I think his screaming was just better. His I don't know. In my opinion, just his singing, he definitely like improved his singing.
Yeah. And Grant, this was 2 years later. This came out 2 years later. So I feel like a lot of it's one of those, like, I don't know how sustainable that screaming can be. And we were talking about this, I guess, with Linkin Park too, and that I kind of understood them eventually kind of mellowing out a little bit. Not that this album's mellow by any stretch. It's not.
No, not at all.
I'm gonna play.
Does it have any slow songs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gap in the Fence is kind of chiller.
Yep. Which is still, it's a good one too. Like it's
Oh, I fucking love that. It's one of my favorite songs on the album.
even like No Sleep Tonight, which is kind of like more of like a fanfare, like that. I imagine singing with a crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
Zonked is just, man.
Dude, is Zonked, is that one of their best songs ever?
Yeah. Not my favorite.
No, me neither, but I absolutely love it.
Man, I never saw it live.
This that song, I think there's a couple, because that song ends so heavy, and maybe that's what you were alluding to ever before from the Rat Race EP. Sometimes like that song and a few others that they have, when it hits hard at the end, like holy shit, is it so energizing and amazing,
especially live. I bet. Just good.
And it's one of those, from this point on too, they've gotten so good at melding electronic sounds with like rock sounds to where it just sounds like, I don't know, you almost just don't like pick apart the difference. It just sounds like a wall of noise that sounds so fucking good.
There's a really good example of that on the next album, or on the next main album. But yeah, I feel like this is where they really mastered that blend. That I feel like they were really brimming on really well with Take to the Skies, just not to the level that I feel like Common Dread was.
Agreed. I think in addition to that too, I don't know, I should have looked up who the producers were for the two albums, but I feel like the production of this album was much better than Take to the Skies too. It's just a much crisper, cleaner sounding album. Enter Shikari is kind of like almost, I don't want to say too quiet, but like some things are too muddled in some areas. Sure. Where I feel like they really brought it out real crisp on this album. I think The Jester too, one of my all-time favorite Enter Shikari songs, definitely like one of my favorite all-time live songs.
Yeah.
Just such a fucking banger of a song.
Fun fact, this album came out on my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my 22nd birthday.
I love how The Jester has like the three phases too. It has this like, you know, horny kind of cafe joke kind of beginning, and no, well, yeah.
That depends what you're into, I guess. I get what you mean. Yeah, horns.
Okay, I meant brass. Yeah, brass instruments. I should have said. Yeah. Hey, it could be horny. That's your thing. But and then it goes into like a rock mode, and then it has like that electronic breakdown at the end, and I just love every bit of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, such a good song.
Yeah.
The Wall, Gap in the Fence, a little more chill songs on the album, but I love them both a lot. I think Hectic is like one of their underrated songs. Just so good in my opinion.
This album was on repeat for me while I was cab driving a lot. It's a weird one, I know, but like it was because I would listen to typically on my phone at the time. I think I was past the iPod at that point. But I remember listening to this a lot there, and I remember driving through the Chicago suburb that we were hanging out in, or that I was living in at the time, and driving around a cab and exploring these weird spaces to this like really great album. It's a weird specific memory that I have of this album, and it's this made it good. The whole experience was terrible, but this album made it good.
That's the funny thing with like good art too, is that like you'll hear it again, it'll immediately take you back to like the time and place that you were at when you were listening to it, when you were like first really getting into it. I just made myself laugh because I always like to ask about the art, and my note for the art for this album, very British.
Very British, yeah, but also keeping the kind of the colors from maybe a little more pronounced here with the red, but I
like the font better. Yeah, it is. I like the font better. I like the Greek lettering.
Yeah,
a little bit better than the like old. I don't know what the other one was, Goth or whatever. But,
and it's like marble.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like this album art a lot.
Yeah.
I actually don't know that I have a physical copy of this album.
It's the back is kind of just like more of the marble and has like a little bit. There's also like random like scribbling words on it and stuff. But it kind of just looks like this without the lion on it. But yeah, very British. You can
like
tell where
yeah.
they're from by the song cover. Yeah,
I do like it because it evokes. I don't want to say it evokes what the album's going to be like, but when I listen to this album, I picture this album art, and I think that's a good. I think that's good.
Yeah, but yeah, hardly anything negative to. What's your least favorite song on the album?
Probably with you. I'm probably with you on Fanfare for the Conscious Man. I want to listen to that again here. Yeah. Even this is okay. Like that's not.
That's what I mean. It's not like so bad that I'm like,
yeah,
pretend it's not on the album. Again, I have so little. I just like to, just so when we get into albums we don't like so much, it doesn't seem like we're ragging on. I'm trying to think of like something I don't like about each one.
Maybe the first track, like some of the sound bites they use are whatever. Yeah. I like what they're doing. It's like if I had to pick something, I would say, like, I would rather maybe just go straight into Solidarity. Like that seems like a better start to the album than the slow lead in of like the We Must Unite. Although I do like his little speech at the end.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on.
Yeah, I like it.
Let the floodgates open is a pretty fucking cool thing to say.
Yeah.
Okay, I take that back. This album fucking rules, dude.
Yeah, it's such a fucking good album. Part of the golden era, in my opinion.
And now the floodgates will open. Yeah, it's fucking.
Well, it's like I even
cool.
like all like very good. Like I love the lyrics on this album too. Very like social conscious lyrics, but not in like a beat you over the head kind of way, but just very, I don't know, just again, this like 3-album run, I just think like the music is amazing and the lyrics are some of my favorite lyrics by any band.
Yeah. Yep. Where would you put it?
Definitely at number 1 for right now for me.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Yeah. They perfected their craft in a way that I think is really impressive.
Yeah, rather quickly too. I mean, for the second album, and I don't know how old they were at the time. Seems like they were pretty young because I know they like started traveling and touring in England like when they were pretty fucking young.
I think 2005. Like I said, I think they were putting out demos, and then I think they got their first shot with Take the Skies in 2007. That's only from going on the Wikipedia page.
So I don't know if you want me to mention these after we do Tribalism, but they released 2 or 3 absolute bangers in between this and A Flash Flood of Color that I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
But,
Go ahead.
Did you want to chat? All right. So Destabilize, for one. Absolutely fucking amazing song. Love it. I don't know how to say. Is it Quell Surprise?
I think Quell Surprise. Yes.
Yeah, another absolutely fucking awesome song that I love.
I was attached to Quell Surprise with A Flash Flood of Color, but that's just maybe because that's when I listened to it first.
Came out in 2011. So when did I think
Flash Flood of Color is 2012. So
12. Yeah. Well, there's also there was that EP, We Can't Breathe in Space, or We Can Breathe in Space. They just want us to escape. That's another awesome song. I think that was actually between Take to the Skies and this one.
It was. That's the only song on there that's actually like a new song, though. So I didn't include it. It felt more like a single. But
yeah, for sure.
I do like
but
that song.
All 3 of those songs I think are fucking awesome. Especially Destabilize is such a good song live. Has so much good fucking energy and stuff. So. Yeah, again, like Destabilize, I like just as much as like any song on Common Dread. So it's like funny that they must just be working on stuff. I wonder like what their thought process is of like releasing stuff in between albums. They're just like, this is so good, we can't wait to get it out.
Or like it just doesn't fit anywhere in the album, but they want to release it because it's part of that era. Like they don't want to just hold on to it like Linkin Park does. Like Linkin Park saying they have like 400 songs in the vault.
Yeah.
Like, yeah? Why are you telling us that? Like, are you going to release it? Or like,
can we really listen to them?
I mean, I guess you can dip back into it because, like, wasn't for Saul Williams there wasn't one of those tracks like a unreleased using a big part of an unreleased Fragile.
Yeah, several of them. I think there were 2 or 3 actually.
So maybe Linkin Park specifically like keeps it in their arsenal for something to release later. But I think this is a good way to do it because it lets me hear some fucking bangers in the era of that album, and I think that's good.
Agreed. And yeah, I mean, I'm always, if you like a band, you want to hear as much as you possibly can by them, especially in a time, when they're really hitting on all cylinders. So yeah, dope ass songs. Check those out if you haven't.
Which leads us to Tribalism. I believe. Yes, Tribalism. Another EP.
I really like it.
It's got my favorite Enter Shikari song.
Oh, really? This was the one. I thought you were talking about Rivers.
No, Tribalism is my favorite Enter Shikari song.
Really?
It's really fucking good.
I really like it. I have on my notes here Tribalism, Thumper, and then Insomnia Live.
Sure.
I don't think there ever was like a Insomnia, not that I could find, like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like an actual, not album version, but like an actual production version.
Because I even think on We Can Breathe in Space, I believe that it was a live version too.
Okay. Yeah, so but that they actually released like a production version of. But Insomnia, yeah, fucking awesome song. I love Tribalism and Thumper. Wow, that's surprising me. Tribalism is your favorite song by them. Interesting. Record. Yeah. Love that part.
It's just a good, like, I can't not bop my head to that beginning part, like just having the guitar riff on the off beat. I don't know. It feels good. That beginning feels good, and then it gets to the chorus where it's more of the.
Good vocals by Chris, the bassist on the song too. Oh yeah, this part's so sick. We'll make as much noise as we can.
It's just a thought. I love that one. Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, it's a really fun. That little awkward way that they start the verse too. Enter Shikari is so good at that. A lot of good art like has just like random shit thrown into it that like seems just random, but it makes it like so memorable and enjoyable to like go back and listen to. And Enter Shikari is really good at doing that.
If you remove it, it just doesn't sound right without it either. And I think that's very impressive.
Yeah, it's like it's the magic of like art. It's like what made you think to like do, it would be so easy to just start it like any other verse, to like throw in that little just weird off thing, like it just makes me wonder what the inspiration was for it.
This album this EP also has We Can Breathe in Space, but they retitled We Can Breathe in Space as opposed to We Can Breathe in Space.
They just don't want us to escape.
They just don't want us to escape. Yeah,
which is a super cool idea for like just a concept, just like a philosophical concept is cool.
I kind of agree that we didn't need the whole name.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. Yeah. They also did a remix of No Sleep Tonight with the Chemists, who are pretty cool.
Great band. Yep.
Actually, I have like 4 remixes of No Sleep Tonight on this album.
Yeah.
On this EP.
This one again, another weird collection of just like some live songs, some remixes, some originals. Yeah.
It's a full hour and 6 minutes, but it's only 4 songs that are like produced. Besides the remixes, I guess you could say those are produced too, but like 4 original recordings.
That's why ranking this one's going to be hard for me.
So like for me, I understand that it goes beyond just having my favorite song on here. Because that does push it. I think this would go above The Zone.
Okay. I'm fine with that. I don't think it. I personally don't. I don't know. I do really like Tribalism. I was gonna say I don't know if I like anything as much as the Feast, but I would probably have it above the Zone too. Just because there's a little more there, and what I really. But it's like if you took off the Feast off the Zone, then it would easily. So I think I'm comfortable if we put it there. I don't think it has enough original songs to put above their actual album.
Same for me. I think that is a good spot for it. It is both kind of closer call than I think I initially thought after we talked about the Zone. But I think Tribalism, the song itself for me just really propels this quite a bit. Now, ranking this with some of the stuff to come in the golden era, let's call it, is going to be tough. But
yeah, we're gonna. I think. Well, we'll see after. When we get to the second half of the list, I think this is when you and me might have some disagreements. Maybe even now. So we'll see.
Maybe. Flash flood of color.
So again, for me, same thing with Common Dreads. Not a single low point on the album.
Yeah.
This was the album that got me into the band.
Me too.
From the moment I heard it, I loved it. The intro with System into Meltdown is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I think the production on this album is amazing. Like I mentioned before, the combination of electronic and rock elements is just perfect on this album. I love that fucking album cover.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it's so simple in some ways, just putting some red lights in the woods. But I don't know, it's just it catches your eye immediately.
Well, it's a logo they still kind of use, is the triangle. I feel like maybe recently they've kind of backed away from that.
Away from it.
Yeah,
but they did use it for maybe a 3 album cycle.
Yeah. This is an amazing album. It's hard for me to pick a least favorite part of this. I don't want to start with my least favorite part, but I guess maybe Pack of Thieves is kind of whatever.
So again, when people bring up albums that have no bad songs, I think of this album too. But if I had a gun to my head and had to choose, I guess I would choose Pack of Thieves as well.
Yeah. But
it's just, I don't know. Every other song on the album is more, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe just more pronounced or unique or something, where this is almost I don't want to say this, but generic Enter Shikari song.
Sure. And that there's something to that. I think it's important to mention when they're not doing something new and interesting. It can be a criticism. That's okay. I think
go ahead.
No, it's okay. System Meltdown might be my favorite start to an album of theirs, and maybe one of my favorite starts to any album ever.
Agreed. Can you play the breakdown in Meltdown, the combination of drums, guitar, and electronic elements?
This? Okay.
Yes. I love that scratchy little fuzzy electronic sound. It just goes with the drums so well. Holy shit. Just everything I love about Enter Shikari encapsulated in one little moment.
I love the guitar after stand up. It's it's such a neat way to do a chord progression, I guess. I don't know if that's what that is, but it's cool. It sounds like
it's
rad.
some kind of pedal on the guitar is what I would guess is what it is.
It's cool as hell.
Oh, it's super fucking cool. So many songs on this album just have good vibes in this weird Search Party to me is just such a cool little haunting kind of synth line throughout it that I love. Gandhi Made Gandhi is such a fucking classic and hits so fucking hard.
Man, it's one of those
Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think the primary purpose of your life, of my life, and the entirety of the human race is just to blindly consume to support a failing economy and a faulty system, forever and ever until we run out of every resource and have to resort to blowing each other up to ensure our own survival.
Like, I think you could maybe criticize it for being a little too on the nose, but like in this day and era, I was just talking about this. Like, you gotta talk straight sometimes.
Well, I love it. Well, it has that, like, because it has that little bit of levity that you mentioned in the middle.
It
where
does.
It's like, whoa, remember Gandhi, mate, you know?
Yeah, let me find that.
Yeah.
Where is that?
It's a little bit more towards the beginning, I think. But
Is it? There it is.
Yeah.
Calm down. Calm the fuck down. Gandhi, remember Gandhi.
It's good. That's fucking great. And then it kicks right back into like good, like they do a lot of
change.
They do a lot of tempo changes in this, and like I don't necessarily think it's key changes all the time, but like I feel like there's some time signature changes in this too, like almost like sometimes prog rock-esque.
For sure.
And they do it well. It doesn't feel disjointed in a way that I would be like, well, this sucks.
It's like thrown together. No, it feels like it like actually connects. Yeah. It's such amazing lyrics to me. I mean, this is like Rage Against the Machine level, like social commentary, in my opinion. And just like that, Gandhi made Gandhi, that totally connects with me as far as like, you know, seeing all the, you know, bad things about the world around you and getting so frustrated that you like fall into anger. And then you have to like remember, like, all right, I'm not going to help everybody if I'm like pissed off and angry, you know, like you need to like have a level head with this stuff. So, oh yeah, just so many. Every song, really, honestly, has like great lyrics, in my opinion. I
love that they also have a song that you'd think 13 years later, right? This is 2012. Yeah, 13 years later that it'd be like, that was a crazy time, right? Arguing with thermometers, man. What were we thinking? No.
One of Megan's relatives, my wife Megan's relatives, is really cool. He's like really into punk, and we found out that we both like Enter Shikari. He's like, yeah, they're awesome, screaming about nature and climate change and shit. And I'm sure he was like thinking of that song. Yeah,
I didn't want that song to be evergreen.
Yeah,
but fucking like they nailed it. Like this whole album fucking nails it. The one that I was talking about before, I was alluding to when I said that they had a really good mix of just like electronic samples and guitar is a Hello Tyrannosaurus meet Tyrannicide. I think
again, banger.
It's so good.
Banger.
It's
so fucking
one.
good.
It says Tyrannosaurus in the name. I'm on board. Two, it's like the little guitars, like they do something with the guitar here that's like that's a sample, but
yeah, it's almost like an interesting like echo or repeat.
He roars like a Tyrannosaurus later. It's like this fucking rules, man.
I love songs that sound like no other artist on the planet could make that song except the artist.
Yes,
that artist,
and that's definitely one of those.
Yeah, and I feel like there's so many. I think Gandhi Make Gandhi is another one. Like I think there's a lot of songs on this album that like are just Enter Shikari, and no one else would be able to make a song like that. And I fucking love it. And this album also bucks the trend of me not really liking their last songs on their albums. I love Constellations. The production on that song is just amazing. The drum sound that they have on that one at the end just has like this like echoing, I don't know, it's just like a really cool, interesting, unique drum sound that I really enjoy. It's a great end to the album, in my opinion.
Not to compare, but that's exactly what we're doing here. I think Warm Smiles Do Not Make You Welcome Here is a less good No Sleep Tonight.
I agree. That was when I was choosing between my two least favorite, it was between Warm Smiles. The only thing I think maybe the saving grace for Warm Smiles for me is that the guitar tone on that song is amazing. Like it's like, I don't know if you could just play like the beginning of the song, but it's like not distorted, but it is a little bit. I don't know. It's just like a really cool, as someone, you know, who plays guitar and is into guitar, it's...
Yeah, this song fucking rules
just,
too, dude. You're right.
I know.
I forgot about that beginning part with the bubbly synth going on in the background, like.
And then it has that guitar that's just like I don't know. However, they got that tone, very unique tone that like is really good.
Like I came into here, not to jump ahead though. I came into here thinking Common Dread was gonna beat Flash Flood of Color. That's me. I don't know. Now that we're talking about it, man, I don't fucking know anymore because this album's really fucking good. I almost forgot how good this album is.
Yeah, if you don't know, then I would like to put this above Common Dreads.
Stalemate.
How you feel about it?
Previous wars make billionaires out of millionaires. Today's wars make trillionaires out of billionaires. Tomorrow's wars will fuel generations of hate.
Yeah, they were really just on all. They really hit everything, weren't they?
Yeah, what prophetic lyrics too, considering, you know, we're probably going to see our first trillionaire in the coming years. No. I know, it's a great sign for the shape of the world.
Fucking minimum wage, $7.25.
I know.
Snake Pit's good.
Cool.
Snake Pit's got the Louis Armstrong bit in it, and I think that's fun.
That's the one that if I had to pick another Shikari song that would most likely be in a beer commercial, I would choose Snake
Pit.
Snake Pit, yeah. Just the chorus. Come and join the party. But it has the gang vocals that you like for the chorus.
It does. Yeah.
I think it's the most... I don't know, I guess Meltdown's the most popular song on the album. I thought it was Snake Pit. Snake Pit is honestly one of the bottom half of the album, but it's still such a great... And we're just splitting hairs here because it's all so good.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite song on the album.
Pack of Thieves is the weak point, and that's like...
I just have a hard time...
So...
Pack of Thieves.
Yeah,
you go first. You go first.
Okay. I think Pack of Thieves, in the context of listening to the later albums, reminds me of what I don't like about the later albums.
Okay. Which is what? Too synth heavy in your opinion?
Yeah, too synth heavy, not relying on their strengths. I think getting out of the zone that I feel like they really excel in, which I don't mind when they do, and that's why I wouldn't necessarily put this as a negative to the... I wouldn't be like, what the fuck is this song doing on there? Or anything like that. It's just right. This is absolutely my preference, my opinion. I feel like they can do fanfare as well, and I don't think this is a good fanfare song.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I kind of see what you're saying, because I was going to say that I never go, like, if I have a bunch of songs on shuffle, I never like throw Pack of Thieves on the playlist and then to like listen to it on its own. But within the context of this album, I kind of enjoy it.
Sure.
It's kind of a break from the vibe, so I kind of appreciate it in the, you know, collection of the album. But it's definitely not like a song that I like go to listen to on its own.
I'd be pretty bummed if they played this live.
Yeah, you'd feel like it was like a wasted slot.
A waste of a song slot. Like, you could have been playing Zonkt instead. That being said, I think the Zonkt and the Jester are better than every song on this album.
I agree with you.
So that's... Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree. The highs aren't quite as high as Common Dreads, but I think the lows are significantly...
There's almost none.
I can't say
there's almost none.
There's almost no bad ones on either album, and so, but I guess the quote-unquote like lesser bad ones on this one, I like slightly better than the lower ones on Common Dreads.
There's an editor's note here on the Apple Music page, which is saying where they're based. And I think I'm going to try my best here. I know it's pronounced normally Worcestershire, so I'm going to do my best here. Is it Hertfordshire?
Hertfordshire? Yeah.
Hurt.
Can you tell we're not British?
HertFordshire. Hurt for sure. Hurt for sure.
What is this though? What are you reading?
There's an editor's note on the Apple.
Okay.
On Apple
Gotcha.
Music. This Hurt for Sure England-based post-hardcore quartet keeps lashing out with upstart fervor in this third studio album, A Flash Flood of Color. I see it down by. Sometimes I don't know what the fuck they're talking about because there's just stuff like there's something at the bottom here saying. Reynolds rails against the UK's failing economic system, with more bite in his voice than on previous recordings. Arguing with Thermometers takes the Korn approach of fusing screamo with hard dubstep.
The Korn approach?
The Korn?
Yeah,
Screamo?
I don't... Yeah.
What?
Even dubstep, they had the one dubstep album, but like I'm not, when I like think dubstep, I'm not like, oh yeah, fucking Korn.
Sometimes, and that's not the first time, but that just happened to catch my eye here. I'm like, they make like editors and music writers make comparisons like that I'm just like, where the fuck are you? What?
Yeah. Well, that's especially funny because I'm pretty sure dubstep originated in England, so it's like wild to pick an American band that had one dubsteppy album. Oh my god, and really just like a couple songs on that album. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Now, to be fair, they do dabble in the wubs
for sure,
and that I can see why you would think like dubstep because a lot of the robot farts, we call them in the know.
Yeah. Also, just one thing I want to add on this. So the whole album, amazing lyrics in my opinion. One of my all-time favorite lyrics by them, though, in Meltdown is "fuck all borders and fuck all boundaries, fuck all flags and fuck nationalities. Countries are just lines drawn in the sand with a stick."
Yeah,
fucking amazing.
It's
badass.
Great. Yeah. And that's towards the end of the song too, I think. So like that's kind of like wrapping up the lyrics too, which is it's good. That's toward the end, I think. Right? Am I thinking that right?
I think it's like the pre-chorus actually. I think he says it twice in this song, if I remember correctly.
This is maybe going to be the hardest decision for me.
So you're very 50-50 about this or Common Dreads?
Kinda like the two songs that I mentioned, like the Jester's just so fucking good.
It is really good.
Zonks.
I have a hard time with this. Like this was the album that got me into the band, so it's always hard. You kind of hold that album in high esteem. So if you're 50-50 about it, let me push you over into having it above Common Dreads. And then we can let you maybe cut some tiebreakers when we get to the later album.
We're cutting deals now.
Yeah. This anti-capitalist band, I need to be very capitalist about it.
Sure. Need to impose
It's up to you if you just in your heart. I personally like this album a little bit better than Common Dreads, but if you in your heart of hearts can't do it, I'm fine. They're both so good. I have no.
I think that looks
issue.
Right. I think that looks right. That's probably right. That's close though. That's really fucking close. Like one more stinker on Flash Flood of Color would have probably pushed me to be like Common Dread. But there's no stinkers.
Flash Flood of Color has a bit more variety to me than Common Dreads does, so I think that tends to have me go. This is just, we should just call this splitting hairs because I love them both so much, and I listen to them both all the time. Yeah. So like having to choose is just like
You'll be listening to Common Dread like sometime in the next coming weeks, and you'll be like, dude, this is actually the one. We should change it. We gotta go back. And
we gotta go record the YouTube video. Yeah.
I think ultimately though. Common Dread has a lot of, I don't want to say dead air because that's doing a disservice to it. I think it just has a lot of, the lower points are kind of like more of what I don't like in the future for Enter Shikari. Then I think it's a perfect crossfade from Take to the Skies to Flash Flood of Color, and it's a good melding of the two styles because they were still figuring it out. And I think that sound for me works a little more than the final product of a Flash Flood of Color, but it's just not as much of a I don't want to say flawless, but near flawless experience that Flash Flood of Color is. That's how I would put that.
See, so that's where I'm not a huge fan of the Take to the Skies punk kind of sound. So this Flash Flood of Color and the Mindsweep, I would almost call like industrial kind of sounding albums, which is more my lane. And so I liked, because I agree with you. I think Common Dreads is kind of like the gap in between the two, but I like going full into the into the Flash Flood Color Mindsweep sound.
Yeah.
Let's just say we put it above because the album cover is better. Let's just say that.
There it is. It is better. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we're on to an interesting one for you, mister. That's the Rat Race.
So again, continuing golden era Enter Shikari, in my opinion. I love every song on this EP.
I think so. I think I'm with you.
So the Paddington Frisk, dude. Yeah. Play
let me find it.
So fucking heavy, dude. So heavy and so good.
Where is? It's not on the Apple thing. I know I just have it, but oh wait, never mind. Oh yeah, that's right. They put it like a covers album.
Yeah, they did.
That was all right.
System of a Down, yeah, it was all right.
Yeah. Paddington Frisk.
It's only like how long is the song? Like a minute 20 or something?
Yeah, minute 20 or minute 17.
It's like 30 seconds. It's when it really hits at the end.
They played that live, and that was with the circle going. And this wasn't really a pit. This was everyone running in a circle, and it was fucking cool.
I think the guitarist was like standing in the middle playing, and then we were all running in a circle around. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, when it hits here.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here is this part. That little like sweeping guitar sound too on the strings is so fucking good.
And people, I remember that being like, that's a bad guitar player or whatever. When you hear that, I think when used properly, I think it fucking rules. Like like them the slide there is what you're talking about, right?
Right. Yep.
Just works with the. Just works. Paddington Frisk, dude.
Right after that, too, like towards the end of the song, this little like synth part comes in too. That fits in. Yeah, it's more like a wobble noise, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. It just fits so. It just the combination of electronic and rock is just so perfect. But there's just 4 songs, so we got the Paddington Frisk banger, Radiate. I fucking love, has awesome lyrics in my opinion. Rat Race, again, another awesome song. Maybe the bassist Chris' best vocal performance in my opinion. And then a remix, a cool remix of Radiate. So yeah, like I love every song on this EP.
That you reminded me. Paddington Frisk, man.
Yeah, that's what when you said that was your favorite song was off an EP. That's the one that I thought you were going to say.
It's really fucking good. I still think I like Tribalism a little more, but Paddington Frisk, dude. I kind of forgot about Paddington Frisk.
Yeah,
I saw it and I'm like, oh, I know I like that song, and I'm like, well, I need to listen to this other stuff that I haven't listened to either completely or in a long time. So I was like, I need to focus on the ones. But man, yeah, that's a really good fucking song. That's a blood pumper.
Yeah, absolutely. To me too, like the lyrics in Radiate and Rat Race are like some of my favorite lyrics by the band too. So
I remember liking Rat Race a lot. Yeah.
They do a very good job, like Nine Inch Nails, where they have a very electronic, very grimy, almost like inaccessible sound, but then it breaks for like a chorus or a pre-chorus where it kind of drops and has like some melody to it, and that's almost like a breath of fresh air. And they do that so well on this song and others, and yeah.
So I think this EP is phenomenal. I think this is my QWERTY.
Okay.
If you didn't watch our previous rankings, QWERTY is a in between EP, unreleased song, put on like an LPU or an LP Underground.
Like unreleased. Well, I think they put on their greatest hits album, but it was an unreleased Linkin Park song. That was absolute banger.
Yeah, it really good. And I was like, oh man, okay. After Meteor, I'm like, man, they're really fucking like doing this shit that really sings to me. And I don't want to jump the gun here. And Mindsweep is the least, the smallest offender of this, but they take a trend after this. That I don't like.
Really, you think the turn came before the Mindsweep?
Started in the Mindsweep.
Oh, that's interesting. Not to me. Okay, I could see. I mean, obviously, with the Spark, you could tell there's an obvious shift.
That was when they went full. I think there was hints on it on the Mindsweep, but we'll get to that. I think.
Okay.
Rat Race is very good. I could hear the argument to it being above Take the Skies.
So that's what. If this was a full album, it would for sure, without a doubt, be above Take to the Skies for me.
Yeah.
Does it have enough with just the 4 songs to put above Take to the Skies?
I think, for me, a remix almost is like a non-existent. I mean, you can do a really good remix. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
It's a good remix. I like it.
That's saying from the guy that his favorite Linkin Park album is a remix album, but when it's just like one-off, like little like, I don't know. Radio. Let me hear that again. Yeah.
Impoverish our existence. Dude, they were so good at melding electronic and rock elements at this time. Man. Just so good.
Yeah, man.
See, that's is there enough there to put it above a whole album? I don't know, but if you had 4 more songs like this, it would easily be above Take to the Skies.
Over a really good album like Take to the Skies. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So, I mean, maybe we should just put it above Tribal, like just keep the EPs and the regular albums separate, but it's your call. It's up to you.
I think we're going to see some go below the Rat Race.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
I don't think we should separate them. But I do think that listening to it again now, with Tribalism being my favorite song, the rest of the songs on Rat Race more than beat out the other songs on Tribalism.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, honestly, it's one of those things. We'll get into this in the Nine Inch Nails one that we do, but like, if this was a full album, it might be my favorite.
Yeah, the vibe they were going with here. If they took this and some of the best from Mindsweep, this would contend with Flash Flood of Color and Common Dreads.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least. Because there's some...
Agreed.
We can move on to it now. There's some good ones on the Mindsweep. I didn't want to allude to me not liking this album, but I do think this is where there's this like little edge of them starting to lose me a little bit.
Yeah, that is shocking to me. So this will probably be our biggest disagreement. This is my favorite album by them.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I fucking love it. In my opinion, it continues. It's with Common Dread and Flash Flood of Colors, where every song is an absolute banger, in my opinion. There's not and this one, like, really, really, it doesn't have like a weak point. So that's why I'm kind of interested. So like, what song to you is I guess again, if you held a gun to my head, I guess I would pick the Bank of England.
Okay, that was my first one that I thought of too. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but to me, it's kind of like Pack of Thieves, where like, yeah, I don't ever go listen to it on itself, but it fits really well into the album for me.
Let me listen. Remind myself what there's a price on your head. That's pretty good. Dear
What if they
future
what if they
historians.
So we alluded to it earlier, but they have an unreleased song. I don't know if it's unreleased. I think they actually did end up releasing it, but
They did, yeah.
Slipshod is an absolute
man
banger. So good live.
It also helps that the music video for this went like Ren and Stimpy style.
It's a song about someone complaining at a restaurant, but it's so fucking good. I love the play of like Chris being the manager and then Rao being like the angry customer and stuff. And it's such, again, I just think their lyrics were so amazing through this album because
it's so goofy. It's them having fun too, and I think that is infectious to me. And I think this is I think where they start getting away from that a little bit. I
love. In my opinion, their lyrics were so good at this time because it was like social commentary, but not in a on point beat you over the head way. Like, okay, so the song's about someone complaining at a restaurant, but it's just such good social commentary on like just spoiled people who complain about the dumbest shit and how silly you look. And so it's such a great way, like as a piece of art. So what song? I'm very interested. Like, what songs for you on this album? Like started to turn in a direction that you didn't like.
Dear future historians, I think was.
See, I love the ending of this when it crescendos.
And not just because it doesn't go hard. I just feel like they've already accomplished what they were doing with that song. With like, what's the Bank of England again?
The Bank of England is more of a more kind of middle kind of.
Yeah.
For me, to me, like I kind of feel like how I felt with the Linkin Park ranking, how Meteora was Hybrid Theory 2. I kind of feel like the Mindsweep is a Flash Flood of Color 2.
Sure.
Like they have very similar vibes and structures to me. But.
I think I think I can admit when I have a worse memory of this album because now that I'm listening to because I was like, I don't remember the last song being very good, but now I remember this. Yeah, that is pretty good. Yeah, I
love the intro song again too. The first appeal to the Mindsweep is amazing.
This always felt, in hindsight, up until like now that we're talking about it, and I don't want to say that I'm completely ditching my opinion, but like this always felt like a high and low album for me. I think The Last Garrison's it's fine.
See, that's what's so... When I was going through these songs just to see which ones were popular on Spotify, The Last Garrison is the most popular song on Spotify by far. And I'm like, what? I'm like, again, I love every song on that song, but I'm like, it's definitely like in the bottom 3, in my opinion.
Maybe when it came out, like that was when they were at the height of their popularity at the time and just happened to catch the right... It's funny, like... on YouTube here, my most popular album again. My most popular video is a 25-minute checkout video of this VR game called Rec Room, and it has like 150,000 views for some reason. And it's like nothing else comes close. Like the closest I have is maybe like 1,000 on something. But for some reason that just broke through. That just hit the algorithm and it got in front of a lot of people. That could be The Last Garrison. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it has... Again, I love every song on this album. Oh, God.
Well, it's like... I guess here's another thing, too. This feels produced in a way that I don't necessarily think vibes with what I liked in Common Dread and Flash Flood of Colors. I think Flash Flood of Colors is them hitting their their ultimate peak of melding electronic and punk. I feel like this is way less punk than that.
Yeah, this is a little more. Yeah, but again, I guess it's just my personal taste. How I like a little more industrial, where like I feel like this is like where it hits the most. I don't know, something about this album. A lot of the songs are very like easy to sing along to, in my opinion.
One True Color.
I love the second half of this song. It's so good to me. The surgeon's knife. Oh, and then it kicks in. So good. Hey, this is the lyrics I brought up at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Not blunt. The surgeon's knife. Such a good hit.
Yeah.
The three songs in the middle, Never Let Go of the Microscope, which again is kind of like, it's fun. It's like a hardcore song about how science is cool.
Yep. Yep.
But Never Let Go of the Microscope, Myopia, and Torn Apart is probably my favorite 3-song run in their entire discography.
I really like Anesthetist.
Anesthetist is also an amazing, again, a song about the healthcare system, but it's so fucking good.
That feels like someone compared that to Butterfly.
The
come my lady, come my lady.
That song sounds like Butterfly? I do not see that at all.
Yeah, maybe not. Where was that? Was it Anesthetist or Never Let Go of the Microscope? Yeah, this one.
Still don't see it, but
just a driving tempo through that song.
Dude, play Myopia, because you and me, I remember we were talking about Enter Shikari, and I think you remember us being like, I didn't really like that song, and I was like, what? And I'm like, you gotta listen to it again. I'm like, you must be thinking about the wrong song. Skip like ahead a little bit when it like hits and is heavy. I think it's like one of the heaviest Enter Shikari songs. Yeah. Such a cool, weird synth sound there. So fucking good. Great guitar. Guitar in that song.
Yeah.
And then Torn Apart, the crescendo part where the strings kick in, it's like one of my all-time favorite moments with Enter Shikari. Great combination of like, I'll say brass instead of horny.
Yeah.
But combination of brass and rock and stuff, just so fucking good. Yeah, this part. When I talk about epic, holy shit.
Yeah.
Also, probably his best vocal performance, because try and sing along to that song and hit the notes correctly. Like, holy shit, is it difficult?
Yeah, this is really where he hit, I think, his maybe peaks even. Now, I think, what was the price on your head? What was that one again?
I'm upper class. I'm upper class.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that one's pretty good. That's classic Shikari too.
Yeah. So this will be an interesting ranking. So where would you, without, because I said this is my favorite album by them.
Yeah.
Well, I guess also real quick, what do you feel about the art?
I like it. I like the art a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's cool. I always liked the triangle they were doing. I think them getting away from that was when I also they got away
that
from
was
me.
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, if I didn't have
Yeah.
a vote, where would you put this?
Third.
Okay, you would have it above Take to the Skies, but below Common Threads?
Yeah, you've convinced me. This is a better album than I remember.
Again, it has a lot of variety that I like.
It does. I don't think there's an untamed nature in Common Dreads that I feel like they have not captured since.
Interesting.
Except for maybe the Rat Race.
Okay.
The EP. You get a little bit in Flash Flood of Color, but like for the most part, I feel like they're in a lane, and it's a big lane, but they're staying in it.
See, that's how I feel about Common Dreads, where I feel like Flash Flood and Mindsweep, they're a little bit more all over the place.
They're a little more all over the place in the directions I don't like them going. I guess it's
That's so funny.
like there's a little like maybe, and again, I feel like I'm projecting my feelings on the albums after this.
Onto this one. See, that's so interesting because I don't get because I get it's pretty obvious. Their sound definitely takes a turn after this album, but I don't even see the crumbs of it in this album.
I've been seeing the crumbs of it there's some in Common Dread as well, where I feel like they're really like doing this like everyone sing along thing.
Yeah, I can. Is there a term for? I don't even know like what the term would be. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't even know how to describe it
because they did it for an entire album. Next,
yeah.
So
you would have it 3. See, for me, it's hard. Common Dreads, Flash Flood of Color, Mindsweep, all absolute classics on repeat for me. I have nothing bad to say about any of the 3 albums. So
the Jester and Zonkt are better than every song on this album.
True, but I would say, in my opinion, almost every other song on the album. If you take out those 2 songs, I think I like almost every song on this one better than Common Dreads.
How many Louis Armstrong impressions are there on the Mindsweep?
All right, you got me there. I guess that's how we're ranking these things.
Actually, so here's the thing. I think I would be more in line with what you're saying if Slipshod was officially on the album.
So I often wish that the last song on the album, the Mindsweep 2, it's kind of a nothing burger for me. It's not bad, but there's just not a lot to latch onto. It's kind of just a crazy noise to end the album.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, if you replaced that with Slipshod, then it would bump it up for me. I'm fine. You put it where you want because I like those 3 albums pretty much interchangeably. Just in my personal opinion, this would be my number 1 album.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's important though. I mean, this is our ranking together. So like if you have a strong case to go over Common Dread, I'm willing to hear it. But
yeah, so I'm it's fine there just because I like all 3 of those albums so interchangeably that it's really, really splitting hairs to if you
our true number
really
one's
like
coming
Common
up.
Dread. I think also we had on the Linkin Park ranking, we had 1,000 Suns a lot higher than I think you would have had it on your own. So in that case, I'll return the favor and we can have a
brownie points.
Yeah. Back to me.
I'm curious if there will ever be a point where you just like, I'm not budging on this. I'm not budging on this. We're not ranking. We're not ranking we're not ranking Reload under the Black Album, Joe. Well,
if you tried to put like A Kiss for the Whole World at number 1, I would not be.
No,
I would not be allowing you to do that.
But I don't think that's the bottom for me. But we'll get there. Okay.
Interesting.
You could bring back the argument later if you really like. You really want the Mindsweep below Common Dread, and again, I don't mind hearing that. Zonkt man.
I did want to mention, again, some very good singles in between this album and the next one. So you had Slipshod, which was kind of, and then Hoodwinker. Remember that song? Oh, that song's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's very good.
Again, great social commentary lyrics about like immigration and things. Absolutely fucking hard-hitting guitars. Great song. I don't know if they have another song, Redshift. I don't know if I like this song so much because I'm really like I'm an astronomy nerd and I like love space and the lyrics are about that. So I don't know. I really absolutely love that song. It's more of a softer song, but I don't know. I'm like, do I just love this song because it's like about space?
I feel like over these next couple albums, they really got into space.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's always kind of had. He
Sure.
definitely.
I mean, they did that. We can breathe in space. I mean, I guess that's pretty.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a theme. Maybe that's why I like the band so much because I do like the. There's some people that are like really into like political shit, but then kind of disregard science. Where I kind of see them as one and the same, and having like a scientific approach to like human behavior will help us be more empathetic and stuff. And I think Rao, the main lyricist for them, kind of shares that a little bit. So I kind of see it throughout their discography for sure. And then Supercharge is a pretty good song that they released in between these as well.
You're forgetting one.
Oh, I am? Oh.
A pretty good cover. A pretty good cover.
What was the other one? The other one on the
Know
song
Your
was
Enemy.
good too. Yeah, that one was good too.
It's fun. I wish they did more covers, honestly. I love hearing their take on songs.
Yep.
Hoodwinker Supercharge is pretty good. I remember that too.
Yep, Supercharge is pretty good. They have a remix album in between here that I wasn't a huge fan of, but the interlude remix on it, I really like.
Yeah, I didn't include that. Do you want me to?
It's okay. No, it's fine.
Okay.
I would. It's it's no Reanimation, so it's a remix album.
Hard to top.
Even though we have Dancing on the Front Line, which was basically a remix album.
Yeah, I just kind of put that on there because it was the July 2024. That was their most recent release. Also, is in the albums section on Apple Music. So,
as we're going to get into with Nine Inch Nails, I don't know what is determining if it's an EP or an album. Yeah, it really makes no sense to me, and I think someone just kind of picks.
Yeah. Well, Trent actually explained it on one of the EPs, being like, well, it's easier to sort on a lot of these streaming services, so that's why he did what he did.
Okay.
But anyways.
It doesn't make any sense, but okay.
I know. The Spark!
All right, Joe. Let's hear your real opinions. Is this your least favorite Under Shikari album?
Yeah.
Okay.
Live Outside, was that the first single?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Begins with a fart.
I'm just kidding. I wanna live outside of all of it. You see that fanfare thing that I was talking about? That's it.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay. And you're right, this album is very heavy on it. I mean, for me, again, this is kind of a hard album to rank because I mean, it's clearly the band wanted to go a different direction and have a different sound, and they did. And it is hard because as a fan, you kind of fell in love with the sound from that. So then something so different. I guess I just disagree with you in that. Well, we talked about this before we started recording. For me, the low side part to this album is kind of the second half, in my opinion, to where the first half I enjoy the songs a lot and I really enjoy the album and I do go back and listen to it quite often. But the second half is where I like agree with you, to where like the second half just falls into let's just call it fanfare because we can't figure out like a better word for what that sound is.
It's melodic, but like they've done melodic before and it's been fine. Like it's just there's a sound that they hit every once in a while, and they've been hinting at it for a while, and they're like, "What?" And it's like they all convene. It's like, "What? Do an entire album like that?" Airfields.
It's like melodic. It's like epic, but not epic. Just more a little kind of.
Where does this go?
So I do love this song. Reminds me of Dear Future Historians, which I guess maybe okay. So that is the connection to Mindsweep.
Yeah.
But I do love the lyrics at the end of the song when the wind is against you. Remember this in sight that the optimal condition for it's the optimal condition for birds to take flight. Now the wind's against you. Don't give up the fight. I like that lyric.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rabble Rouser, I think, is probably the highlight for me.
And that's because that song is probably their most classic
Shikari,
Shikari sounding thing.
I'm nothing if not consistent.
Yeah, that's true. I think the production on this album is very good. I think there's a lot of songs that are very easy to sing along to. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I like the first, the Spark into the Sights, Live Outside, Take My Country Back, Airfield, and Rabble Rouser. I really like all those songs. I like the lyrics. I think it's got good production. It's not. I could see how an Enter Shikari fan wouldn't like this album because it doesn't have any of the energy. There's not a single song that has the energy of their old albums. And I remember seeing them, one of the shows you didn't go to after this album came out, and they closed with Live Outside. And I could tell like Ra was like really trying to get, he kept saying things like, come on, let me really see the energy or whatever you were saying. And in my head, I just remember being like, I'm sorry, dude, but like, just
this ain't
this
it,
song
man.
does not have the energy of the previous albums. It just doesn't. It just, doesn't. It doesn't.
And that was a choice, right? That's their choice with this album.
Yeah, it was a choice, right? But so like in a live environment, it's like you can't expect us to mosh as hard as we did for Zonk. Like it's just
to
not,
live outside. No fucking way, man.
I know. Well, that's what's surprising. Rebel Rouser kind of reminds me of the Anesthetist in a little bit of in kind of similar vibe, but it's still not that like heavy of a song.
No.
So it is kind of interesting. Yeah, it was just a clear change in musical direction, but it does. I think why I don't like it as much as those previous, because there's not a single song that has the energy that was pretty much present throughout the entire album on the old albums.
This album, and I don't want to say any, this is just me and probably being a little what's the word? I forgot the word, but I'm being overdramatic here when I say this. This feels like a contractual obligation album. We need something that's not your typical thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like here's the thing: this is not One More Light. This is not One More Light. This is way better than One More Light.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not that big of a drop off for me, because I did go back and listen to this before this. I think last week. I was like, yeah, all right, yeah. It's still not what I want from this band, and it's still not what I think is their strength.
I agree with you. Like, to me, I agree with you. One, it's not Linkin Park's One More Light to me, and that like One More Light, I had to go back and re-listen to it when we were doing our rankings, and I was like, oh my god, this is so bad. We're like,
what
this.
What are we doing here, man?
It's an enjoyable listen, but compared to the previous albums, it's not even in the same ballpark, in my opinion.
There is an audience for this, for sure.
It's funny when we're talking about the fanfare noise for lows. There's a lot of O's and woes and kind of trying to be epic sounding things on this album. I also put too, which I kind of agree. There's not a lot of variety on this album. Mm-mm. Again, I kind of feel like the front half has a little bit, but especially it's all kind of on the same level. And I put my least favorite song is, I don't know how to pronounce this correctly, the Japanese one, Shinrin
Yoku. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is an awesome concept. So what that name is that's the term in Japanese for like finding restorative kind of health in nature. So like going into nature to feel better, which is an absolutely awesome concept and so true and great for a song name. But it's my least favorite song name.
That whole second half blurs, and even some of the songs in the first half kind of blur for me. Take My Country Back sounds like it should go hard.
Yeah, see, that's like a song that like in the older albums would have like, like more like a place or what's the not place for my head? What was the other one? I'm upper class. I'm upper class.
Yeah,
that song.
yeah.
But it just doesn't have that hard hittingness to it.
Live
How do you
Outside,
feel
I
about
think, really sets the tone for this album in a way that, like, it's not going to get much more than this, man. Or it's not going to stray too far from this dude. So
Well,
if you
and
don't
honestly,
like that,
it's probably the most energetic song on the album.
it's just the sound, I guess, is what I'm referring to more.
Yeah. But well, I'm agreeing with you in that. Yeah, it is kind of what, like, it's the most energetic song on the album. It's not really saying much.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the album art?
I think it's cool. I want to press those buttons.
Yeah. So they actually, I don't
like
know if
the
you've
chrome.
seen them. I don't know if
neat.
you've seen them since they made this album, but they 3D printed that synthesizer, and he uses it live. And it looks exactly like it does on the cover.
They pulled a Motor Crater.
Ooh, what's Motor Crater?
We know Motor Crater. They made their own instrument. It was like a band that made their own.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just a synth that they 3D printed the like box. So that's cool. Baby blue is my least favorite color, and all their stage setup and everything for this was all baby blue. So I'm like, I don't like that. But yeah, it's an album cover.
Yeah, I would love to fuck around with that synth. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I do like the black keys with like the baby blue keys. Like that's kind of cool.
Kind of alluding to the triangle on the radar looking thing.
Yep. So
which
still have it a little bit.
Which it's showing that it's fading away.
Yeah.
I think this is all right. Well, let's start with the top, right? I don't think the Spark is better than a Flash Flood of Color.
All right, no, we don't need to go walk it down that far. So, like, definitely.
Oh, come on, let me do my bit.
Okay, all right. No, it is not better than Flash Flood of Color.
Is the Spark better than Common Dread?
Absolutely not. Not even the same universe.
Yeah, I think I agree. The Mindsweep, though.
How are you doing this to the Spark? This seems like a vendetta.
All right, let's just put it where it belongs.
Yeah. Well, for me,
the Feast.
Yes. All right, fine. You can leave it there.
No, make your point. I don't want to dismiss your opinion.
For me, okay, let me count them off. I like The Sights. I like Live Outside. I like Take My Country Back. I like Airfield. I like Rabble Rouser. And Embers is a nice instrumental. So that's like let's say five songs that I like.
Mm-hmm.
The Zone and Tribalism don't have that many songs. I'll admit, like, the three songs I like on Tribalism and that one song on The Zone are better than those five, but it's not as much quantity-wise.
How much better?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I mean,
I personally would have the Spark above The Zone, but
you could argue that the Spark as a vision is more complete than the EPs. You could make that argument, and I think that would make some sense.
But I would rather listen to Rat Race 5 times over
than
listen to the Spark once.
I would rather listen to Tribalism. How many tracks are on this? 11 times than any of these songs, and that's just me. Okay.
All right, it's fine. We can have it there.
We could put it above The Zone if you really feel strongly about that.
That was my only argument, was putting it above The Zone.
All right. You know what? You gave me Common Dread.
Okay. All right.
I think that works.
But now
you're looking at it.
Yeah, now I'm looking at it. And if one of the like punk fans that love Take to the Skies was like, you put the Spark ahead of The Zone, that would be hard for me to justify. All right, yeah, put it back down. Put it back down at the bottom.
All right.
Oh, man. Sorry, Spark. You're not terrible. You're an enjoyable listen, but just not up to the level of their previous work.
You are not One More Light.
Yeah, that is correct.
That is and that is something. That is a band that I loved putting out an album that was absolute shit. You are not that. You are not that. You are better than that. You are a competent album, and I don't mean to poo-poo you too much.
That's the funny part, is like there's levels of this shit, right? Because I would rather listen to the Rat Race 5 times over than listen to Spark, but I would rather listen to the Spark on repeat for a year than listen to One More Light again. So, yeah. Also, I just want to
heavy.
mention there's a song, Stop the Clocks, in between these two. If you like, that's what's funny. It's like, dude, there's somebody out there. There's someone out there that the Sights is their favorite Enter Shikari song. Or album. So if that's you, they released a song, Stop the Clocks, that I think is on par with the better songs of this album. So check it out if you're not Joe.
This is an interesting one coming up.
I think we're going to have a hearty debate on this one because, to me, in a lot of ways, the highs of this album are a return to form, in my opinion.
No, I agree with that. I think there's some bangers on this album, and I was like, okay, that Spark thing was just like them. That they were just playing around.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame too. Like, I like when artists want to take a risk and change their sound, so I don't blame them for, venturing to new territory. That's basically what being an artist is.
Yes. I don't want to necessarily start with this. I think this album art is, I don't want to say bad, because I don't think it's bad. I like the colors.
I think it's so weird. I like it. That's the thing.
It feels like a vaporwave album.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's weird.
Selling it at like a mall kiosk.
It reminds me of like, if it almost seems like it's a book cover more than like an album.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like it better than the Spark.
Me too. And what's weird about it's like the colors, in my opinion, the colors don't go at all.
No.
Like purple, blue, yellow, green, and then you have
that's
like a
why I
gray.
like
That's what I mean. Like, it's almost if someone was like,
green.
I hate this album, it looks like vomit, it's disgusting, I would understand what they mean, but I still like kind of like it.
But like compare this to like Common Dread, and I really like Common Dread a lot better than what they were going for here. That being said, it evokes such a confusion out of me that I think is admirable. They also
Go ahead.
They also put their triangle on there and the synthesizer. Let me blow that up a little bit.
Oh, at the bottom there. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It's like it's very cluttered. That's for sure.
Yeah.
They did a bunch of little weird things too. Like, okay, it's got the goofy colors covering his mouth. It has the like warped thing over the title at the possible. It's weird. It's weird.
There
I
are
like it.
Shades of graphic design are my passion in this a little bit.
Yes, exactly, for sure. But it does enough weirdness to me that it pushes over into like, I don't know. It's like unique enough that I like it in a weird way.
Yeah, I guess I came off negative. I didn't really mean to. I think that's just such a peculiar is the word I would use.
Very, for sure. I will say, so this album came out right before the lockdowns in 2020.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. Yep.
And so I have found the album title and concept of the album, Nothing is True and Everything is Possible, to be very prophetic. At the time, I like kind of got what he was saying. But like now in 2025, it's like, holy shit, that's like exactly what is going on with like the rise of AI and just social media. And like, it's getting so hard. Like so many times when I have like a debate with someone about some kind of social issue, it's like we have a completely different world that we're living in. Yeah. And like you say, like you'll say some facts that and oh, where'd you get those facts from? These are actual facts. I'm like, no, those are Fox News talking points. Those aren't facts. No, this is like we really do live in this world where like we as humans like can't even agree on like what reality is. And so I thought the album title and concept was really prophetic. And he actually, the singer Rao, released a book with this album that was it was a fantastic read. Like if he was never in a band and this was just an author, it was a great book about science and art and culture and life. And I was like, yeah, so it's like, I gotta look up what it was called, but really cool book that he released with it. So I really, in retrospect, really appreciate just the concept and the album name and everything about it. Let's talk about the music.
I'm glad you went in that direction because when you said, I heard nothing is true and everything is possible. Yeah, I shouldn't wear a mask. That's not true. I could.
Right.
vaccinations are implanting microchips or whatever.
Right, yeah, don't get the vaccine, it's got a microchips in it.
Don't drink the water, it's got fluoride in it.
Right. So, but with that saying, back to the music, how you said Mindsweep is like a high and low album for you, that is this album to me, where it has extremely high highs and extremely low lows. In my opinion, I think The Great Unknown is an absolutely fantastic fucking opening song to the album. I don't know if you want to like play. I love how the piano is like a straight classical piano, but then kind of turns into a synth almost when like the beat hits. Great song. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, this felt good.
Yeah,
Hearing
this is like a
this, I was like,
classic.
okay, there you go, guys.
I kind of agreed with you. So they released this, Tita, and The King were the singles before.
Yep.
And it really seemed like a return to form. It kind of
Those
also
are my
those
3 favorite songs on the album.
Yeah, so it also did. That does kind of suck. I have had that happen recently with a couple other artists where, like, when all your best songs are released before the album, so you're so excited about the album and then it releases. But there's one notable exception to me for this album. Waltzing Off the Face of the Earth is probably top 5 Enter Shikari songs for me. The lyrics are absolutely amazing. I love, again, no other band on earth could have made this song like a heavy hitting waltz, but like it's crazy, but it works for me. I love the crescendo at the end. If you could skip to like the last 20 seconds of the song, they add this little like, it's like a high pitched scraping noise, but it fits in. Oh, maybe not that far. I forgot it has like I forgot it has the whole little horn part to end it. Yeah, this. It's got that waltz with the cymbal, and then that little, like that scraping noise.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking good in my opinion. Like I fucking love it. Another song I really like. I like Satellites. Is like a commentary on being gay and stuff, and I just think it's so fun. I really enjoy the song just as a song, but I think it's super fucking cool that we've reached a point in society that like I think they're all straight. I think they all have like, or I don't know if they're married and have kids, but like that 4 straight dudes can pretty much make like a gay anthem and have it be like really, really great lyrics and hard hitting and can, play it at shows and stuff. It's a great concept too about like, like being gay, and not being able to be who you truly are. And you kind of had to keep your like deepest part of you kind of hidden and stuff. So just a great, fantastic kind of socially aware song.
Yeah. I think I agree with you on those. Those are the ones I actually have saved. That and Dreamer's Hotel I also have saved, but I don't know if that was another pre-release one.
Oh, it was. You're right. That was another single one too. And that one is very good as well.
Yeah.
I really like...
See, this is a good mix of what they were doing on the Spark with some of their older stuff. It has energy to it while also staying mostly synth. Exactly.
I agree 100%, where the difference is that these songs have some energy to them that is not present on the Spark. I like, dude, we should talk, or you should play a little bit of the instrumental on this, LG for Extinction. I remember when we were listening to this album and you were like, this sounds like what you hear playing when you walk into Epcot in Disney World. And I always think about that, and you're 100% correct. But I still like it for some reason. It's a cool instrumental, in my opinion.
It does sound like Epcot.
Yeah. It totally does. It totally
Which is
sounds like you
fine.
can hear this playing at Disney.
I love a good instrumental interlude. I love it.
Again, I guess maybe I'm a sucker for like brass instruments and songs, but I love the horn comes in the middle, and I really like it.
Like that sounds like they got like a small orchestra and band
I
to
think
play.
they had to have. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It kind of sounds a little bit like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it does.
Let me see if I can find. Okay, no, I was wondering if we had if it tells me if this had a band attribution to it, like a London Symphony Orchestra thing or something.
I think it must have. So those are the highs for me.
Yeah,
The lows now are very low. In my opinion, Crossing the Rubicon is the worst Enter Shikari song they ever did.
oh yeah.
And you know what was funny is it was like a YouTube short where they were interviewing people and they asked about Enter Shikari, and the person interviewing, he was like, every Enter Shikari song ever made, it was great with one exception. And I was like, ooh, is it Crossing the Rubicon? And he said Rubicon. I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. And then also, I think Modern Living is like really weak. It's a weird, to me, the low points in this album are leading into their next album that I think for me personally, Kiss for the Whole World's probably my least favorite Enter Shikari album. And the low points in this album are what I don't like about Kiss for the Whole World. Mm-hmm. So I kind of, in my opinion, I kind of see that creeping in some of the low points in this. And it's a weird, it's like pop synth. And which is funny coming from me because I'm a big New Wave fan. Like I love New Order and Tears for Fears and like just a big New Wave fan in general.
Well, that's a different vibe though. There's a little bit of like a darker tone to that. This is less of that. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I guess I don't. This is gonna sound like I don't like when they're hopeful. I think I don't like when they're hopeful. I feel like I get kind of like
it's kind of cheesy, right?
It is, yeah. Especially with the fanfare is the best way we could put it. When you do that, when you couple those two, it's a lot of like, it's not why I'm listening to you guys. And you don't have to make music just for me. Don't do that. But like, and you exploring what you want to do is great. Artists should do that, and I'm not going to necessarily always like it. But for me, that's where them switching to that and fading into that, I feel like started with the Spark, maybe a little bit of the Mindsweep, but less than I remembered. I think for some reason I lumped those two more together than the Mindsweep deserves. I'm sorry, Mindsweep. Please accept my formal apology.
Move it up the list.
It should go above Common Dread, actually.
Yeah.
But when they start, it's I don't know. I want to listen to Tina.
I like Tina.
Me too.
I like vocal manipulation, where I'm not sure if you're quite as high on it as I am, but I like it when it's done right.
Yeah. I could, yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, in this song, it's done well. And honestly, again, like,
yeah, it's good.
Back to the very prophetic lyrics, like, there is no alternative. Like, people being locked into like, oh, this is how things are, so this is how they have to be. That's a common thing I get into when I'm like arguing with people about like politics or thing, where it's like, oh, that's just human nature, that's just how it is. And it's like, no, that's how it is now, but it hasn't always been that way. It doesn't mean it needs to be that way forever. So again, very like, awesome lyrics.
We don't need a trillionaire.
Yeah. Well, they create jobs, Joe. No, all right, I'll stop.
Oh man, my favorite, one of my favorite shirts I have is the skeleton with the guillotine saying "Bring it back." I just think that's cool.
I forgot to mention, I was so bummed. I had to give it to Steve because it was too small. I think sizes are smaller in Europe than in America. But I got an Enter Shikari shirt. This was during the Flash Flood of Color days. That it was a picture of Gandhi, and it said, and in quotes, it said, "Calm the fuck down."
That's good.
And I'm like, I'm sure it's badass. Yeah.
Where would you put
this one?
Nothing is true, and everything is possible? Where would you put it?
This is honestly really hard for me. Oh God.
I got a spot for no.
But yeah, Enter Shikari fans are gonna absolutely hate me for this. I feel like, especially the punk leaning ones. But
Oh, no.
I personally like it better than Take to the Skies.
Oh no.
I do. I know.
Oh no.
I don't think Take to the Skies. Well, okay. Mothership is one of my favorite all time. So that song I like better than anything. But other than that, I like all the songs that we talked about that we like on this album are stronger than everything else on Take to the Skies for me. Like, I think, like, what did we say? So yeah, Tina, Satellites, The King, Dreamers Hotel, Waltzing Off the Face of the Earth, Great Unknown. I like that stuff better than Take to the Skies. But it sounds like you absolutely no way, no how.
No, I think I'd put this above The Zone.
I see. I would definitely put it above Tribalism.
Rat Race is especially like Rat Race. So what fucked you up here is putting Rat Race under Take to the Skies.
Should we move it above Take to the Skies?
Maybe, like, listening to the Rat Race, like, and having it resonate now that, and granted, this is in the context of talking about the newer albums here, like, Rat Race was maybe, I don't want to say this because then it would completely throw our rankings out of the window, but it's kind of one of the high points of the album, of the band.
Me too. Well, all right, fine. I'll blow my load with 9 Inch Nails. If Broken was a whole album, it would be my favorite 9 Inch Nails album. And I kind of feel that way with, if Rat Race was 8-9 songs and they were all that good, it might be my favorite Enter Shikari album. So
I'll put it above Take to the Skies. I'd put it above the Mindsweep, frankly, but I know you love the Mindsweep. So
you would put Rat Race above?
Yes.
Again, it's just not. It's not enough there to push it over the Mindsweep.
Let's concede. Let's see how this looks. I know this is highly unprecedented. What we're doing here.
I know a lot of people who are into punk who love Take to the Skies.
I love Take to the Skies. Take to the Skies is above the Mindsweep for me, but that's personal.
Okay. So what we're debating here now is putting Nothing Is True.
Now that we've lowered Take to the Skies down a peg, Nothing Is True.
I think you got to put Nothing Is True above Tribalism. I just think there's more there. I don't think there's enough in Tribalism. Do you those 5 songs that I named that we like from Nothing Is True?
Yeah.
What on Tribalism besides the song?
Besides Tribalism?
Yeah.
Tribalism's my favorite Enter Shikari song, but I get what you're saying. You're right. You don't have to say it, though.
I'm
just kidding. That's probably so. Okay, now that it's there, we can still rearrange if we want. Make your point for a Take to the Skies, because I'm going to go back and look at that track list.
Make my point of putting Nothing Is True above Take to the Skies?
Yeah, I think you did kind of already, but like,
yeah. To me, if you took out Mothership, if you took that song, that's my again top 5 favorite Enter Shikari songs. So that kind of trumps it, and that's why I'm okay putting Take to the Skies above. But if you took that song off Take to the Skies, I like The Great Unknown, Waltzing Off the Face of the Earth, Dreamers Hotel, Tina, Satellites, The King. Like those songs, I like better than any collection of songs from Take to the Skies.
Not to compare this to Linkin Park, but I feel like Nothing Is True and Everything Is Possible is the Minutes to Midnight. Where
yes, I could see that. Absolutely.
The low points are bad.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily bad, just like nothing. There's nothing. Like and there are more than half that album is low points. Whereas we were just talking about
for nothing.
Nothing is true.
About?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
it's 15 tracks.
Yeah, there's a lot of little interludes though. That's why I'm like, I want to take a look at the track list. Great Unknown. Oh, that's what's like. They do what you hate, Joe's, when you have a really, really fucking good song and then it immediately tanks for the band. So The Great Unknown into Crossing the Rubicon is a really
Marionettes 1 and 2.
Dreamers Hotel. Modern Living is like a bad song. Apocalypse Anonymous, I like. The Pressure's On is kind of a nothingness. Reprise 3 is just an intro to Tina. LG for Extinction. Marionettes is okay. See, all right, so I guess for me, the only real true low points are Crossing the Rubicon and Modern Living are really bad to me. But I wouldn't say Marionettes are terrible.
Yeah. I'm looking at Take the Skies with Enter Shikari. The song.
Yeah, great song. I like Take to the Skies.
I think
I
like
love Labyrinth.
I think I like Enter Shikari more than I like the Great Unknown.
I think the production on Nothing is a lot better.
Well, this was 2007. This is like
yeah, I know.
And I also like messy. I like that it's like imperfect. I think that's a good sound for that. And it's also why I still like Common Dread a lot because
let's leave it there because I think it's a hot take, honestly. I would say if you polled all Enter Shikari fans, I think 99 out of 100 would have Take to the Skies above this album, so I'm fine putting it there. I don't want to. I think we might piss off the fan base having it as low as it is anyway. So,
but I think you could forgive us for Common Dread and Rat Race. I think folks that like Take to the Skies could probably like both those.
Understand where we're coming from.
Flash Flood of Colors, maybe you start losing a little bit because it does brim a little more into the electronic, and then Mindsweep more so, but not as much as the Spark. That's for sure. Okay, let's leave it there for now then.
Okay.
I'm gonna just go ahead and remove Dancing on the Front Line because
it's more of a
remix kind of
remix album. It's got a couple. I think whatever the Goldfish song is, I like the remix on there better than the original. But for the most part,
I will say I like the art.
Me too.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's got like a 80s kind of fuzzy TV vibe to it. Yeah.
It's light bright.
Well, I like... Okay, so this album. I like the album cover.
Me too. Yeah, I think the art is very nice.
I didn't know this, that's the fire lily is a plant that grows when forest fires happen in like tropical regions. It grows out of the ashes of this. So that's kind of a cool little phoenix cover. And on the cover, if you zoom in, you can even see the old little broken triangle lights in the background.
Which is pretty cool because that was in a forest and stuff too. I think that's fun.
Yeah, exactly. So very awesome album cover.
I will say for this album, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's only 34 minutes at 12 songs.
Yeah, true.
I listened to this today, and it was better than I remembered, but still not great.
So I had the same experience. I remember, again, so it has the, I think It Hurts was the second single on it. It had the other one, Please Set Me on Fire. Please Set Me on Fire came out. I was like, okay, a little too poppy for my taste, but not a bad song. And then It Hurts was the second single, and I really, really, really like It Hurts. Has some of my favorite lyrics by the band. Great electronic rock kind of combo. So I got real excited for the album. And then it was a huge dud to me. And
be embraced, billions.
It's got energy though.
It has energy.
That's a good bopping like.
That's what this album confused. So I did have the same experience when it first came out. I was like, I really don't like this. But having go back and listening to it for this list, I was like, okay, it's not as bad as I remember it, but I still don't really like it and go back to listen to it ever.
Yeah.
Besides It Hurts. And I'm trying to like figure out, because it has all the elements of an Enter Shikari that I like. It's got electronic, it's got rock, it's got energy to it. But something about it like doesn't connect for me. I don't know exactly what it is.
This had more guitar in it than I remembered. And I think that's maybe them trying to perhaps capture some of that early stuff a little bit. maybe they kind of lost their way a little bit.
So I was trying to like pick what. So I think part of it is I think this is probably their poppiest album, honestly. So I think I'm wondering if that's what I don't like. Like again, I usually like synth pop, but I think you're right. Like new wave has a little bit of a darker tone to it, where I really don't like the like electro pop vibe that this album has. It's too. I don't know. I just don't enjoy it. It's not the type of music I like to listen to.
Deadwood?
I also think. Oh, so I put. Yeah, so I put in my notes here. Enter Shikari overall as a band, some of my favorite lyrics of any band that's ever existed. I have them up there, like greatest of all time or one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. But some of the songs, the lyrics are so cheesy in this album. So the one you just played, I am no good, I am made of wood. It's like, and then there's I think it's the Goldfish song. It's, you are under my control, you're a goldfish, and I am the bowl. Trapped in feedback loop, got me feeling like I'm swimming through soup. It's like...
I'm sorry,
like,
I'm
dude,
sorry, I can't relate. I've never swam through soup.
Yeah, and I'm just like, were you rushed or something? Like, what happened there? Like, yeah. It was just like... This is the first album, like, I love their lyrics, and this one I was like, oh, these are bad. Like, they're just
guys,
bad
I don't know.
lyrics. Yeah.
What was the one thing with the Monster song that with Kanye West and like Jay-Z or whatever, and it was like it's like a monster, or I'm a zombie, or I'm a ghoul. I have to find this now. Hold on. Someone was just like, come on, Jay. I have to find this. This is off track, but
yeah, I guess it's still like electro pop sound, because I guess Please Set Me on Fire was kind of like a sign of that. That one has a little bit of energy. It's not like too bad to me, but I don't know. I just honestly, I like I said, I think Bloodshot is cool. And It Hurts is cool, but other than those two songs, I never ever go back and listen to this album.
I have no after listening to it again, I don't really have much of a. It didn't really leave much of an impact on me. It felt like it was, yeah, like you said, maybe they were like rushed. Maybe they whipped this album up pretty quick, like on purpose, like kind of like, I mean, Linkin Park did it with what was that middle one?
Living Things.
You know, Nine Inch Nails did it with The Slip. Just they said, you know, we're too much of a perfectionist. Let's just try to see what happens when we whip something up. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe I don't know either.
This felt like, at least for me, and you're going to disagree with me here. I liked this a little better than The Spark, but that's because it's hitting more of the things that I like. And I mentioned this before on Linkin Park. I'm more of a instrumental guy. I'm not necessarily I listen to a lot of the music in the back first, and then I focus on the lyrics after that. That being said, Deadwood and Goldfish suck. I think, what was Jailbreak pretty cool sounding?
It had its moment. So that one, it had a super cool part where I'm like, all right, I'm really gonna like this song. But then it went super poppy again. So maybe that's my complaint with this album.
Wasn't it like sometimes they had kids in this?
The last two songs to the... Yeah. The last two songs to Giant Pacific Octopus,
I don't know you anymore. Yeah, that's
not good to me.
If these were fucking bangers like the Paddington Frisk, I could forgive that name.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, like what's like the Octopus song by the Beatles? Like, that song's cool.
Sure. I don't know that we recorded this. I think this is by far their worst name for an album.
For sure.
It's corny as hell, man. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, it's corny as hell. I guess that's a sign to come with some of the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then like, was he hanging out by an aquarium or something? Like Goldfish, Giant Pacific Octopus, Deadwood? like what's happening here?
I don't know.
But
Yeah.
I guess also too, I liked Nothing Is True, so I kind of got excited, like, okay, and I didn't hate the Spark, but for this, I guess it's like the electro pop that I just really don't connect with at all.
This
So it really,
this album feels
yeah.
closer to Nothing Is True than it does The Spark.
Oh, for sure, it's a completely different vibe. But I would say this album is like the Spark is like, it doesn't have energy, but it's not a poppy album. Where like this has like by far the strongest like pop. Honestly, this album kind of feels like crossing the Rubicon, the album to me in a way, which is like my least favorite under Shikari sound.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Leap Into the Lightning, was that anything?
I think that's another one that had a good moment, but then
That sounds cool.
yeah, see this part. I think that's what I did. It had a lot of cool like electric energy to it, but then it would always go into this like poppy chorus that I just don't care for.
Yeah. No, I think I'm with you.
So where, without my vote, where would you put this?
No, like your insight on lyrics helps because I barely ever listened to that my first go around, especially for the albums I haven't delved into nearly as much, like Nothing Is True, and then also The Spark and this.
So I should say, hopefully I wrote it down. Yeah, maybe I didn't. It Hurts has really cool lyrics. I like there's failure is an odd treasure. How the fuck does it go? Failure is an odd treasure. It powers future endeavors. I'm like, oh, that's a cool way to look at it.
Sure.
And then it has another lyric that I like is something. Fuck it, I should have wrote down. Whatever. Yeah, I like It Hurts, but cool lyrics on that one. But the rest of the songs, I guess, maybe it's because of the tone, because it's poppy. The lyrics sound cheesy to me under like poppy, kind of tone. But I don't know. So yeah, where would you?
Let me ask you this. How many Louis Armstrong impressions are there on A Kiss for the Whole World? None.
Absolutely none.
So that drops it a bit.
No flashlight or color.
Also, I don't remember there being any like the little plays that they do sometimes. The little dramatization stuff, and I think that it sounds like they're having less fun on this album. At least in Nothing Is True, you could tell. The Spark, it sounded like they just wanted to make that album because they were very earnest about it, and I could respect that. This feels like formulaic in a way that, and not even their formula.
Well, that's what it almost sounds like they wanted to be more accessible. Like they were going for like, what will help make our band more popular? And they went with like this pop sound that I just don't enjoy. I just don't think it hits.
There are no "you fucking spanner" moments in A Kiss from the Whole World.
Right. And I get, you brought it up earlier, like getting older and your voice decays. And of course, like just being, 40-year-old dudes, there's just no way you're going to have the energy of 20-year-old dudes. And so you don't want to try and put some fake energy into it, because you're an artist. You're only good when you are raw and how you feel in the moment. But kind of like with the Spark, like I understand the Spark was like a different direction and it wasn't as much energy, but it was like fine. Where like this one, it just, I don't know, just something about it just does not connect with me. I just don't get any like, I don't know.
For me, it is the fact that like why I would probably put this below the Spark now that we've talked about it, is because the earnestness of the Spark, I think, is its redeeming quality.
Agreed.
Where I feel like this has the appeal of a new Enter Shikari album, and then the most boring result possible. Is kind of what this is.
It kind of has a lot of the qualities of Enter Shikari. Like, it's definitely an Enter Shikari album, and it is unique. But I just never... It's the only album in their discography where I never really go back and listen to it.
Like, I think that that riff in A Kiss from the Whole World is actually pretty good. Like, let me go back to it one more time because it feels. But it's them being positive. And that is, I don't know that I recognize that until we talked about it today. I think that bothers me.
Well, I get it's too. Maybe it's in combination with the poppiness. It's just too. It sounds like something they would play at like a school like anti-drug rally or something. Like something like that. Yeah, right. Yeah, like they play it during day. Like let's all But the other lyric in It Hurts I really like is unless you fight the inevitable, you'll never know if it truly was. And I think that's a good good lesson for life.
There's probably nuggets in there that are all right. I would rather listen to A Kiss for the Whole World over One More Light.
Oh. If come at me. We should on One More Light more on this than we did on the Linkin Park ranking video.
That's not true. We really here. I'm just going to put it at the bottom down here. No.
It's so funny.
You come at me. One More Light fucking sucks. Okay, it fucking sucks.
Yeah,
it fucking sucks. All these albums are all but maybe one are pretty. You could convince me that they're pretty damn good. I think the top 8 are amazing. I think The Spark is just not for me.
Agreed. I actually agree with you. Like I don't love The Spark, so I do. The top 8 are all, which is most of their discography. I mean, that's the thing is like no band is going to be 10 out of 10 every album just by the fact of comparing their work against their other work. There's no way everything can be, at the top. But yeah, I do agree with you where like there is kind of a divide between those last two and the top 8.
The best thing for A Kiss for the Whole World is probably the album art.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like them going back to the red and stuff, and it's cool that they reference the old stuff. But in the same vein, they also tell me that old stuff is burned and dead.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
I think they're working on a new album right now, so I'm very, very interested to see what happens.
Get weird again. Like, just get weird.
Yeah, like some Havoc, like those songs, like just some weird. I agree, dude. I agree.
Like, Hoodwinker is a great fucking deuce. Just put out Hoodwinker on the next album, and I'll be in.
Me and Steve even noticed. So the most recent show we went to theirs was after Kiss for the World, and we noticed a change in the crowd even, where I was like, this isn't as good.
Are they just trying to get to Coachella? Is that what's happening?
That's the vibe I get from the album. Is they're like moving into. I didn't like that shift in Linkin Park. I feel like some artists like get into this like I want to make more adult, like art. And it's like no, it's better to be crazy kids. Like fuck that shit.
That is when they are at their best. Is when they're crazy kids, and even when they're a little too old for it, nothing is true and everything is possible. Shows me that is still possible. They can still do it. They can still have fun and still make their point and still do the artsy concept songs. And I think those are good in the context of an album. More of that, because whatever you dropped with The Kiss for the Whole World is. I don't know, man. Back to the drawing board, boys.
Yeah.
I didn't even mean for that to be a fucking reference.
Yeah. Good, dude, that's a great way to end this little episode. A little lyric callback. That's awesome.
Well, also.
God, I love this song.
This is the voice of God.
That's so good.
So fucking good, dude. No. Yeah, overall though, amazing discography.
Yeah.
Fucking excellent band. For the life of me, I'll never be able to figure out why they never really caught on in America, because they're the shit.
Let's go down the list real quick. We'll start from the bottom. Coming in at number 10, A Kiss from the Whole World, with The Spark at number 9. The Zone, the EP, at number 8. Number 7, Tribalism, the EP. Number 6, Nothing is True and Everything is Possible. Number 5, Take to the Skies. Number 4, Rat Race, the EP. Number 3, The Mindsweep. Number 2, Common Dreads. And number 1, A Flash Flood of Color. We both agree on Flash Flood of Color for the most part being number 1. I think I'm comfortable with that being number 1 for sure.
I'm comfortable with the top 3 being in any order. I would have the Mindsweep number 1, but I'm comfortable. Those 3 are all Mount Rushmore amazing albums to me. I would want them on an island, and I would listen to them interchangeably all the time.
Yeah, I mean...
And Rat Race, if it was a full album too, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Take to the Skies and Everything is True are also great albums in my opinion, just not quite as high as those other groups.
Yeah, and I think I showed my my impartial nature by letting Tribalism drop to number 7. Okay, so like, I just want you to appreciate that.
I do. I know that was hard for you.
It was very hard. Well,
and my only argument against you is just there's not enough on there otherwise to push it up.
Like, man, I mean, there's such a weird band because there's so many good songs in between these albums that aren't in these rankings because of it, and like we could have included some singles in here that would have maybe ranked also high, but I don't know. At some point, I need a collection. I need more than one song on there.
Yeah. Well, no, I agree. Like, where would Mindsweep be if Slipshod was on there? If Hoodwinker, because Hoodwinker came around the same time as Mindsweep too. So, like, if you had Slipshod and Hoodwinker on Mindsweep, that would really boost it up. You know, well, same thing. Yeah. Rat Race was like around Flash Flood of Color time, so those are all amazing tracks too. You had Destabilize if that was on Common Dread. So yeah, just man, they were hitting on all cylinders for that period. Like, holy shit, something for everybody.
I feel like it's not always the heavy stuff, even though that is typically what I'm drawn to. I feel like there's usually something in there that at least you'd find like, wow, okay, this is interesting. But I think that's going to do it for us today.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, Brian. Thanks for ranking
fun as always
these albums. Next up, we'll see what's coming up. In the coming weeks. I got to see if my friend is able to. Our friend is able to join.
Fucking hate her.
She is probably somehow more passionate about Nine Inch Nails than you and I. She's
more than you. Holy shit.
She loves that band, and it's very cool.
Then she'll be perfect to have, it's fun to have people who love this shit. So
yeah, I think she'll get more passionate about the rankings, and I think this will be more like choosing a favorite child.
To like her, she won't like concede at all.
Maybe.
That's funny.
Yeah, all right. We need a little. You and I concede quite a bit sometimes. Be like, well, you really like it, so okay. All right. Well, thanks, Brian. We'll see you next time, YouTube. Well, I actually might get that Linkin Park one up soon, maybe sometime next week, just because people can wait. Whatever, that's fine. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Cool.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for hanging out. Bye. Bye.